My sister called me screaming about her stepson, and I could hear him crying in the backseat. She was driving. Between the profanity I caught the word CPs, and my body went cold. Jimmy said something at school. His teacher flagged it. The school called it in. There was a case file now with their names on it, and Michala was losing her mind. Not because she was worried about Jimmy, because she was worried about herself. His voice was in the background. I couldn't make out words, but I knew the sound. That quiet a 9-year-old gets when he's trying to take up as little space as possible. Then she said it loud enough for him to hear. If his mother wanted to take him, his ass would be on the next plane. He's 9. His biological mother hasn't been around since he was in diapers. He was sitting 3 feet behind her, listening to every word. I've watched this build for 3 years. When Michala married Brad, my whole family opened their arms to Jimmy. Birthdays, holidays, Sunday dinners. He was one of ours. Everyone treated him that way. Everyone except her. She was fine when he was small and quiet. The second he started having opinions and pushing back the way every kid does, she turned sharp. I've heard her call him difficult in front of company. I've heard Brad tell him to stop being so sensitive after she snapped at him over spilled juice. I watched her correct him at Thanksgiving dinner so harshly that the entire table went silent and nobody said a word. Then Sam was born, her biological son, and the difference became impossible to ignore. Sam breaks something, and it's funny. Jimmy breaks something, and he's careless. Sam throws a tantrum, and he's tired. Jimmy raises his voice, and he's disrespectful. She posts Sam everywhere. Jimmy hasn't appeared on her social media in over a year. Jimmy has ADHD. I have AD myself, so I know exactly what that looks like from the inside. I know the restlessness that adults read as defiance. I know what it feels like to be punished for a brain that won't sit still. When Jimmy stays with me, he's a normal rambunctious kid who follows my 17-year-old son around like he hung the moon. He's not difficult. He's 9. I waited for Michala to run out of breath. Then I said it. I'll take him. Put him in school near me. You and Brad get into family therapy. Dead. Silence. Then her voice dropped low. You're calling me a bad parent. I'm offering to help. You're trying to outshine me. You always do this. You always act like you're better than me. You have no idea what it's like living with him every day. You get the fun weekend version. I get the kid who won't listen and won't stop moving and won't shut up. I said his name quietly. He's in the car, Mika. She hung up. I didn't sleep that night. I kept hearing her voice. His ass would be on the next plane. I kept hearing the silence behind it, where a 9-year-old boy was learning that the safest thing to do in that car was not exist. I called CPs the next morning, told the caseworker who I was, told her I knew about Jimmy's statement at school, told her what I'd personally witnessed over 3 years. The verbal cruelty, the disparity between the two boys, the comments made in front of family that everyone heard and nobody challenged. I told her Jimmy has aged and needs patience, that he doesn't lie, that he's a good kid in a house where good isn't good enough if you're not the biological one. Then I volunteered for kinship placement, both boys, Jimmy and Sam, because if that house isn't safe for one child, it's not safe for either. Brad called 2 hours later. His voice was controlled, but tight. You called CPs on us. On your own, sister. I called because your son told his teacher something bad enough to trigger a mandatory report, and your wife's response was to cuss him out while he sat in the backseat. Jimmy exaggerates. Michala is stressed. Having 2 kids is hard. You wouldn't understand because you only have one. I said your son went to a stranger at school because nobody at home was listening. That's not exaggeration. That's survival. He hung up too. Michala texted my mother that night, told her I was trying to steal her kids, that I'd always been jealous, that I called CPs to destroy her family out of spite. My mother called me. I expected her to take Michala's side. She always has. Instead, she went quiet for a long time. Then she said, I heard Jimmy at Christmas. I heard what she said to him in the kitchen when she thought nobody was around. I should have said something then. I didn't. I'm glad you did. That broke me, because it meant everyone saw it. Everyone heard it. They just decided it wasn't bad enough to speak up until a 9-year-old did it for them. Haven't heard from Michala since. Investigation is open. Jimmy's still in that house for now. But there's a file, and there's a record, and there's a family member on the other end of a phone telling the state she has room, and she's ready. Last week my son asked me if Jimmy was going to come live with us. I said I didn't know yet. He nodded and walked to the spare room. I already set up the extra controller just in case. I looked at the bedroom I'd already cleared out. Clean sheets on the bed. Lamp on the nightstand. Empty dresser drawers, waiting. I hope they don't stay empty long.